All right, here's that help on that last one, number 9. The trickiest part is just getting that derivative to be okay and not rounding too early in your results. So a big hint I'm going to drop for you guys is you really want to make sure that you know what this looks like. And I know that exponent is throwing a few people off, so it's 7955 in my example, 0.9. That's easy enough. And then the e to the negative 0.04 and 54. Now that t is a fraction. It's in the bottom. But for my derivative purposes, I'm actually going to make that t to the negative 1. Because when I take the derivative of any exponential function, you rewrite it, and then take the derivative of the exponent. And so just having it look like this, what I've just completed, that's going to make my life a little bit easier. So that's why I took that on. Let me get another. So this is right here. That's the piece I'm going to take the derivative of. Okay, so down below, what that means, if you remember the derivative of these, you can ignore the constant, so I can actually just recopy it, 7955.9, and then you rewrite the e, so you get that luxury of always rewriting e to the negative 0.045. If I got the right number, I think I rewrote it wrong. What is it? 454, so I just add an extra piece in there, 454. Sorry about that. I think I left it on the other one. Funny. Okay, so then that's almost right, but then you have to take the derivative of the exponent right next to it. So this is when I go in and take the derivative of what's up here in the exponent. And that's just, remember your old power rule, the negative 1 comes out front times the number here, and that makes it a positive 0.05454, sorry. 454 from taking a negative 1 times that. And then t to the negative 1, you subtract 1 from that power, making it negative 2. There's your derivative. That's the one that we're going to use. Now, if you have a calculator with you, you could actually type it directly in there like that. Some of you were valiantly trying to go in and simplify this, but all you can, if you want to just plug your values into this, that's fine if you have a calculator. So if you put 5 in to that function, wherever there's a t, you're going to plug in 5. So here, I'll throw in like this. For instance, I'll put 5 right there, and 5 right there, and use a calculator in a handy way, and you've got it. So what I have with me is I actually can take my regular calculator. I should love to take a screenshot of it, but that's my tack. Now this one, if you want to try it a couple times, maybe pause this and see if you can get the same number I do. If you very carefully, and this is how I typed it on my calculator, I put in 7, oops, I'm going to use a better color. Let's use red again. 7955. This is my graphing calculator. You can use decimals with lots of exponents. That always works really nicely too. E, and then you have to somehow do that caret symbol and then parentheses around whatever you're using your exponent, negative 0.054, 0454. I keep saying the wrong thing, but that is where, and then if you want to do t to the negative 1 up there, or just put t in the bottoms, up to you, but just to be consistent, you can do 5 to the negative 1 power on your calculator. So that's what would go in to that, just that exponent part, and then next to it, multiplied separately, is the 0.0454. And then again, you're going to put in that 5, this is for the first one, to the negative 2. Okay, so that's fine. That all works out, and you can get the right answer. Now, for some others who want to do some simplifying, because they can see that happening, the things that you can put together just real quick like are these two numbers can multiply together if you choose this route. By the way, for this particular one, if you want to check your answer, it ends up being like 14.32. It says round to 3. It's 14.317. So if you round it, as they say, 14.32 would be the correct answer for that first part A, using the formula I just went through. If you want to simplify this as an option, multiplying these two numbers I just highlighted in green, you end up with this number 361.19786. The product of those, then it'd be e to the power of. Then you have the same thing. Up in your exponent, you still have that 0.05454. And I actually, one time I did it 0.0454. I did the t to the negative 1 as a t in the denominator, so I put 5 down here. Okay, for some that made it easier. They thought that, even a few others, what helped is they just figured this number out, then did e to the power of whatever that number happens to be. Okay, so they plugged it into their calculator first. They kind of did it in parts. And then when they were done, they multiplied it by the derivative of the inside, putting in the 5 times. So it's like there's multi-parts. You want to get these, some kind of calculation here. And then when you're done, you're going to multiply it by 0.0454. And again, instead of 5 to the negative 2, one option is to just take and put the 5 squared in the denominator, so you get that number. So it's like you're multiplying two different things together. You can calculate them separately. The danger of that is you start rounding too early. You do not want to round any of your results until the very end. If you round too early, then it's going to throw off your results. Try that, and if it's a calculator issue, and you can't find ways to do that with some of the tools that are in there, I can help you with that too. I'll just show you some various tools, Desmos. I can show you just using the Google calculator. I can show you using a graphing calculator, all that kind of stuff. But there's a start to get you over the hump for some.